You should be getting today. We'll release our 2 deep for game 1. Some guys that'll be omitted from that. Kamar Wheaton. Kamar's going to be out for the year. He suffered a knee injury in fall camp. He's already had his surgery. It went well. It's 4 to 6 month, I think, recovery, but he should miss the most of this year. Andrew Chambly, Braden Flowers, and Mike Sanjo are out for game 1. They're not long term, but they won't be available game 1 just from some minor injuries suffered in fall camp. I think other than that, we're in pretty good shape. Logan Parr is back and available. Just trying to get him into shape. In terms of the depth chart, competition's been good. We have guys that have earned the rights to either start or rotate in game 1, and that can change week to week early in the year as people earn opportunities through the game. Some of those competitions carry on through the game. When it comes to quarterback, Preston's earned the starting job, so Preston will start. Kevin has deserved and earned the right to play, though, so he will play. But Preston's our starter. He earned that through fall camp. It was a really good competition. And, I think like we've said from day one, for us, competition, if we want that to be what our culture is, it can't be just some people, it's everyone. And it's no different than me and our coaching staff. We got to earn our opportunities every year. It made everybody better. I think both Preston and Kevin have handled it great, and also we got a lot of confidence in Celtic Luster. So now we got to go play somebody and see how we do in games.
Have you guys formulated a plan for playing both, or what that looks like? Or?
Yeah, we have an idea. Make no question, Preston's our starter. He earned that in this fall camp. But Kevin performed well, and so he deserves to play. He earned the right to play. Our team believes in both of them. I think they showed that. They overwhelmingly voted Preston as a captain. Says what they think about him, but they also voted Kevin as a captain. So I think that just shows the respect and belief they have in both those guys. So we have an idea and a plan, and we'll let you guys in Nevada figure it out at the same time.
What's the loss of Kamara to you?
It happened, honestly, the second day of fall camp. We never even made it to pads. It was a non-contact injury. I hate it for him. Took a few weeks, and then just the only option was to go ahead and repair it. Good news is he should make a full recovery by January, February, March, somewhere in there. So now the challenge for him is to show the maturity and have a great semester academically. He's trending and getting closer to graduating, and if he has a good fall and rehabs it right, he could be 100% by spring ball when the opportunities will still be there for him. So I hate it for him. Obviously, from a depth standpoint, we lose a guy. I think Richard and LJ and Jalen have all three had a solid camp, they're healthy. And then you got guys like Zane Minor and then Derek McFall, our freshman. But that's kind of the guys we got. And then I think people have seen Roger Daniels can play some running back too for him too.
With Preston and Kevin, what did you see from both of them in fall camp in terms of where they took the steps forward that you wanted to see?
They both were comfortable with what we're doing. I think they both got better as camp went on. First couple days, you could tell, especially for Preston, some rust and just. But I think as the camp went on, they both got better. They didn't stay the same. That's what you look for, and they both moved the offense. And both times when we, had live action or scrimmage or moved the ball action, they moved the offense. They both put the ball in the end zone. Overall, both did a good job of valuing the football. There were some days that it wasn't as good as others, but I just think they both showed that they're what they should be after 2 years for both of them, comfortable in what we're doing. And now we just got to get them in the game and let them play. And obviously Preston has more game experience than Kevin, but the game experience Kevin got at the end of the year last year is pretty invaluable. So good to see him get in the game, and our coaching staff, our team believes that honestly whichever one's in there, we should be moving the football, and that's our expectation.
As players, what are the differences that you see between their two styles?
Yeah. I think they both can run our offense. We don't have to overhaul our offense for what we do. They both are really good at extending the plays, but they do it differently. Preston has his way of extending plays that's a little unconventional, but works for him in a really unique but effective way. And then Kevin is still, you saw the Tulane game. He scrambled and made some big plays with his feet. So I think they both present those issues for the defense, whether it's extending plays or in some potential quarterback run situations. They can both throw the deep ball, So, I'll let the defenses figure out what they do well differently without giving too much to you guys.
Obviously, you have to prepare for the other team, but especially first game of the season, especially with the coaching change and roster overhaul that they've had, how much of game prep is mostly focused on you and how much of it is focused on
Yeah.
that and what you expect them to do?
It's an easy answer to say it's about us. Every coach in America would probably say that right now. And we're not wrong. Like, we got to go out and take care of us and play, be excited to play. We got to be disciplined. A lot of times, first few games of the year, you see a lot of penalties. You see the sloppiness, particularly with offenses, balls on the ground, special teams. How crisp can we be early on in the season and hopefully mitigate some of that rust that is often there? But at the same time, it is a challenge. They've got a brand new head coach. He's got experience and has won as a head coach. They got 2 new coordinators that weren't coordinating last year at places, and so you're trying to piece it together. Obviously expect them to be a little bit like Kansas was on offense. A lot of unbalance, a lot of option element football, a lot of tempo when they can. So it's good that our defense sees tempo often. And then, defensively, I just think both the DC and the head coach have been together before. They're very sound. They keep everything in front of them. I think they'll have those guys playing hard and knowing what to do. They don't bust a lot. You can tell teams that are like them, at least schematically, what we anticipate. While they're not complex, they're pretty good at making adjustments because they don't do too much. So I think, we're going to have to execute at a high level to move the ball, particularly in the first game.
When it comes to the other captains that were voted, I think J.O., Elijah, Jonathan McGill, Kobe Wilson, what did you see from them as far as leaders this offseason and just stepping up into those roles even more for some of those guys?
Yeah, we got 26, 7, something like that, seniors. We got a lot of guys, I think. We got some guys that didn't carry the votes for captain that I think are excellent leaders. So, but specifically to the ones that our guys, the team voted as captains, I think Elijah Roberts, he did a nice job coming in year one and letting his play kind of speak for itself and earn that kind of respect. But this spring and this summer and fall camp, he's not a rah-rah guy, but he's vocal when he needs to be. He just, you can tell though that defensive front goes at his pace. I think Kobe Wilson's had an awesome offseason. He came in year one and again, same thing. Didn't try to do too much, just became a part of the team, but now, performed well. And I think both those guys felt like they could step up in leadership roles, and they've done that naturally, and our guys believe in them. And I think Jonathan McGill's done that since he stepped on campus here. Obviously, we talked about the quarterbacks already, and then I think Justin Osborne has been the guy for our offense all summer, all spring. He broke the rock with Coach Grizz this summer. I think J.O. has been kind of on a mission, like a mature mission, is like, this is my last year. I want it to be my best year. And just been really proud of how he's not just worried about himself. He's been the guy that when we're not practicing at our standard on offense, has been pretty vocal. And I think that says a lot coming from real line.
Kind of going off J.O. and that offensive line, he, Ja'Kai, and PJ kind of seem like they've held their spots, but the right tackle, left guard spots kind of jumbled. What have you seen as, you, Coach Woods, and Coach Justice have tried to kind of solidify that for weeks?
Yeah, I think J.O. and Ja'Kai, a lot of experience, and they've solidified, the inside that they should be playing. PJ's had a really good camp at left tackle. He's been really steady. He may have had the best camp of all of them. And then, we know what Logan can do, so getting him back in the last week's been good. We just got to get him into game shape, but physically he's good. To your point, that right tackle spot, we lost Chamblee the first week. Again, he should be back. He's week to week at this point. I wouldn't rule him out for game 2, but he's definitely not going to play this week. But he's trending. He was working at right tackle. Savion Byrd has worked at right tackle and some guard. Nate Anderson's worked at right tackle and some guard. So we feel like those 3 guys will kind of be vying for that. And then, Ben Sparks is getting healthy again on the inside. So that's probably our top, 8 or so guys. And when we get Chamblee back, and that's pretty good depth overall. But to your point, we got to see. It's one of those positions we got to get in game and see who settles down at right tackle and gives us that stability we need.
Seems like there's a lot of excitement around the program, around the city. You coming back another year, the season you had last year, going into a new conference. What's the excitement inside the program, getting ready to get started again?
Yeah, I think the excitement inside the program's at an all-time high too. It's just we're the ones who kind of got to live in the moment day to day, and if you get too far removed from the present, you start thinking about the ACC. We don't play an ACC game till September 28th. You start thinking about the new facility we move into next week. We don't move in there till after our first game. There's a lot of excitement. The guys are excited for the schedule, excited to play on a big stage, excited to play at our new stadium, the new facility. All those things, they feel it. They feel the energy. But hopefully we've done a good job, and we've tried to we got to worry about what we can. Like, we got to go beat Nevada. If we don't beat Nevada, it's not going to be near as fun moving to that new facility. And if we don't have a good non-conference slate, then when Florida State rolls in here, it's not going to be near as fun, and so on and so forth. So the energy's there and the excitement's there. It's never been a better time. It's hard to put into words. And they feel it. And, as a coach, you don't want to overplay that, because you want them to be them and be loose and go play. And I think they've done, at least from what I can tell in practice, a good job of that. So hopefully Saturday we're loose and we just go play and do what we do.
You mentioned the 26-something seniors that you guys have, and a lot of veterans on this team. When it comes to just how you expect them to start and perform, is it maybe different than last year in a season opening game? Are your expectations higher based comparatively to last year, maybe?
I expect us to go out and be mature and be ready to play and be prepared. And that's what we've talked about this week. Everybody has a first game. Everybody has first game jitters, and we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to do some things, and we're going to have to make adjustments in game to find a way to win the game. But everybody's got to do it. So we want to be the most prepared team in the country for our first game, whatever that looks like. I think our staff and our team has done a nice job the first 2 years. We were ready to play both of our first games, but none of that helps us this Saturday. So I thought we started well last year against La Tech. Hopefully we can have a similar start this year. But, going on the road, new staff, new everything for that opponent that used to winning, playing in the altitude, all those things. It's a great challenge for us to get our season started.